Hello YouTube. We are continuing our playthrough of PioFiore today. We are still in our blind playthrough of Dante's Route. Do we finally get some answers to some of our burning questions about what's going on? We'll see. You can watch me play at twitch.tv/Pinker NeonNova. Enjoy the video. One day after breakfast, I rested in the now empty salon when Nicola returned from his errands.
Buongiorno.
Buongiorno, Pink. Oh yeah, you were doing weird stuff, Nicola. I remember that. Yes. Buongiorno. Welcome back. It felt quite awkward being alone with him now. I haven't had a chance to see him since what happened back then. Say, Pink, I actually... Nicola was going to say... Nicola smiled, then let out a sigh, seeing me purse my lips in silence. If it's about the last time, don't worry about it. Huh? I thought I would play a little prank on you, but I guess it was in bad taste. I'm sorry? Why are you being so creepy, sir? It was just a prank. I breathed a sigh of relief. I'm sorry for taking your words too seriously then. It was just that I'm not used to that kind of talk. I really don't know what to say or do. I smiled back at Nicola just as the other men came walking into the salon. Hey Nicola, who's the lucky guy who owns that fancy car outside? We got a guest? Yes, a special guest who wants to see the boss. Ooh, who is it? Ah, I see. The men nodded, seeming to know what was going on, then glanced in my direction. Did they want to speak with Nicola privately? I'd better go someplace else. Well, I should be going back now. I briefly nodded at everyone before leaving the salon. On my way back, I heard yelling from one of the rooms. Huh? Is that from Dante's office? I quickly turned towards the source and saw someone bursting through the doorway. Isn't that... Even from afar, I could tell who it was. A famous politician in Boulogne, Gerard Paris. I stood in place, seeing Signor Paris stomp out in anger. I snapped my senses as he left, and just when I began to head back to my room, Dante stepped out of his office, and I stopped in my tracks. Ugh. Dante looked pale. He closed the door, then sighed briefly. Wondering what happened, I approached him. Was he a guest of yours? Yes. I don't remember Dante's voice. Oh my god. Look at my little ice prince. He's so sad. You don't look too good. I'm not. No, you're right. I'm tired. That's all. Oh, poor baby. Say, Dante, how about taking a walk in the garden for a change? No, I'm. Come now, let's. Dante reluctantly agreed to my idea to step outside for a moment. It really feels like autumn now. The air is so nice and cool. I like to just sit in the sunlight when I can. It's a shame that the season is so short. But I do like winter as well. The stars are so pretty when the sky is clear. Um, Dante, do you like the winter time? Oh, no, he said yes. Yes. I tried to find any words to try and get Dante's mind off of what was bothering him. Then again, there was one question. There was one nagging question still on my mind. Oh, right, I remember now. About who the Key Maiden was. I haven't played in like a week. I'm completely like, what's going on, huh? But there's no way I can ask that question now with Dante like this. Oh, I know. I'm planning on making more of that dolce I made before that you liked. Is there anything in particular you'd enjoy? They say sweets help when you're tired. It could be what Dante needs now. Whether Dante knew I was trying to cheer him up was unknown, but he responded with a smile. Ah, look at his cute little smile. Look at that tsundere. Grazie, and sorry to burden you. What do you mean? I tried to hide my thoughts with my response. Dante looked at me gently. I felt my heart racing seeing his eyes fixed upon me in a soft gaze. Oh, I can make panna cotta, torta caprese. Oh my god. Soffigatellia. And I can't read that friggin' word. Why? Torta caprese. A traditional chocolate cake made with almonds and walnuts. Oh, that sounds good. I want chocolate cake. I've had a migraine for 5 days. Chocolate cake would do me good. You can make torta caprese? I found a recipe in the newspaper. It looks a bit difficult, but if you don't mind, I'd like to give it a shot. Would that be all right, Dante? Sure. Oh, he's so cute. Your little face. Chocolate fiend. Dante smiled back at me warmly. I'll do my best to make it perfect. I clenched my fists to show my resolve, and Dante chuckled a bit. You don't have to be too serious about it. Just make it whenever you have the time. I will make time. But I want to make something you'll enjoy. I want you to think it tastes delicious. So you're going to do your best for me? Yes. Of course. Oh, what? Well, I had spoken honestly a moment ago, but on second thought, it came out sort of strange. Anyway, I'll do my best. Sure, I'll be waiting. Ah, a cold wind rushed through the garden and made me shiver. Dante, is there... Don't move. I froze in place at Dante's words. Oh, look at his pretty eyes. I held my breath as he came face to face with me. Dante's eyes widened as he noticed how tense I was. You have a leaf in your hair. Oh, so cute. I'll get it, so stay still. Oh, sure. It must be from the wind. Dante awkwardly reached his hand out to pick the leaf from my hair. Dante wasn't moving much. I guess he couldn't get the leaf out. Or he's just admiring your pretty face. My pretty face. Look at my pretty face. It's me. Okay. It must be tangled in my hair pretty badly. Not yet? He's so close to me. I could feel my heart racing. It was pounding so hard that it disrupted my train of thought. And finally, got it. He mumbled with a sigh of relief. His beautiful face moved away from mine, and I thanked him, embarrassed. Thank you, Dante. You're welcome. It's getting quite cold out here. Should we get something warm to drink inside? Well, yes. Let's go. Oh, so cute. Dante is asking me to follow him? I didn't expect that from him, but a small smile broke across my face. As I watched him leave the garden, I could sense how much better he was than before. He was feeling than before. It seemed like the men who wanted to speak with Nicola weren't in the salon anymore. As for Nicola, he was sitting on the sofa with his legs crossed and a cup of espresso in hand. Oh, your little hum is creepy, Nicola. You're in a good mood, Nicola. Ah, Dante. Perfect timing. I went to your office, but you weren't around. Do you have good news? I just got the report that we put 20 of the Lao Shu out of business. For good. What? Oh, that's right. We haven't told you about it. We're at war with the Lao Shu. Nicola answered my concern with delight and continued speaking in a lively tone. You little... Why are you so creepy? Sir, why are you being so creepy? We've been getting rid of the rats who have been selling drugs and trafficking humans. Okay. There was a huge hunt the last time too. Do you remember when everyone was out? Ah. That was when I was out with Leo. We stopped a trade deal that was taking place on a ship. It was pretty glorious. Is that so? I'm just glad that you're both safe. I didn't know everyone was in danger while I was just relaxing here. Well, you were relaxing here, eh? Well, perhaps you should stay put a bit longer. He knows. He knows I went outside. You little sneaky snake. After all, there's no way we can protect you if you're somewhere outside the manor. Wait, does Nicola know that I went outside with Leo? Yes, girl. Yes. No, it can't be. It shouldn't be long until we exterminate them, all so that you can go back to the church. Really? Thank you. I felt a sense of happiness come over me at the prospect of being able to return soon. But even so, the mysterious Keen Maiden lingered in my mind. Or maybe I misheard what was being said back then. I could have misinterpreted what was being said, or maybe it didn't even apply to me. Girl. I should just forget about what I thought I heard and get back to my normal life. Oh, but now that we've ended that deal, there aren't many drugs circulating in town now. Okay, why is that a concern, Nicola? Huh? That's a good thing, isn't it? Of course it is, but that means the prices of what's left will rise, and those reliant on them will cause problems. Okay. I understand. I wouldn't be surprised to see them killing each other off for the drugs. Killing for drugs? The hospital and the church are being visited by a number of addicts suffering from withdrawals. Not that the hospital can do anything. They just have to wait for the drug to wear off. As for the church, I don't see why they'd even go there in the first place. Nicola, why are you being so shady? You handsome, creepy, weird bastard. No, there's meaning to it, Nicola. In desperate times, people seek salvation, and in their quest for support, they find faith. Miracles have happened from faith. For example, France has a fountain said to heal people. God offers help and support to those who are suffering in many ways. Okay, I'm not religious, but we're into this for the game, okay? You believe in that bogus story? Okay. I'm with you, Nicola. Bogus? Seeing me mutter, Dante calmly intervened and began to speak. I understand how faith can offer support to people in need. The same is true with miracles. They don't happen to everybody, but God may offer them to save people sometimes. Dante. He shared the same thoughts as I did. That brought an unusual sense of joy to me. Nicola and I were left in the empty salon after she went back to her room. Maybe that's why she was chosen to be the key maiden. Okay, give me the info. I want to know. Or maybe it's because she's the key maiden that she was given that personality. One can't unlock the door without having faith in miracles. The more I think about the key maiden, the more a certain question came to mind. How did a member of the Lao Shu know about the key maiden? Where was the information leak? Could it be? Okay, so the protagonist is the key maiden. Got it. I needed to open a door. What door? Someone tell me. I was standing in the kitchen to make the torta caprese I promised to Dante. Dante didn't show up for lunch today. Something about being too busy to come. Is Dante all right? Young Dante said he's going to skip lunch because he's too busy. But isn't he hungry? I mumbled to myself, worried that Dante was overworking himself. Let's bring something light for him to eat later. Ah, Julia, then do you mind if I... So there I was, prepping dolce for Dante. Mix chocolate and egg yolks, keep the meringue light. Mix in some roasted slivered almonds, then bake in the oven at... I carefully check the temperature and place the dough into the oven. Okay, and done. I'll make a rich and sugary cafe latte for Dante to accompany the dolce. Huh? You're alone? Where's Julia? Hi, Leo. Baby boy, tiny baby, little baby boy. He's so little, a little guy. Okay, I'm fine. Julia stepped out to go shopping. I see. Ah, what's that smell? Are you baking something? Yes, it's not much. Great. Then if you don't mind, can I get a bite once it's ready? I came to see Julia because I'm so hungry. Oh, I'm sorry, Leo. I can't serve it to you first. Huh? It's for dessert, right? Leo had a surprised look on his face. I guess he didn't expect me to refuse. Well, it is for dessert, but I wanted Dante to get the first serving. So, would you mind waiting a bit? Oh, okay. The boss should get first dibs for sure. Oh, tiny baby boy, a little cutie. Oh, he understands so much and so little. We love him. Leo for best boy. Lemonade. Yummy. I breathed a sigh of relief seeing Leo answer me with a bright and happy smile on his face. I idly chatted with Leo while preparing the cafe latte for Dante. Meanwhile, Memo. Nicola Francesca. I walked through a back alley as scheduled. From the other side, a young man with a hood over his face walked towards me silently. The moment we crossed paths, he quickly slipped a memo into my hand. I looked around to see if anyone was nearby, then stopped to look at the memo. The Lao Shu's next move. I see. I guess it's about time to make a visit to their hold in Valeno. I folded the memo in my hand and began walking out of that alley. Ba, 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 ba. Meanwhile, Hunch. Dante. I gave a heavy sigh after reading the report. The rats are being exterminated as planned. The last siege should have thwacked the flow of drugs and thwarted. I can read. Should have thwarted the flow of drugs and human trafficking. The next strike should put an end to the Lao Shu in Berlin. Something didn't feel right. Despite stopping their human trafficking, the Lao Shu is still teeming with money. I thought their source of income was human trafficking, but maybe the Lao Shu has a revenue flow from elsewhere besides their home country. Soon enough, the dolce was ready. I placed a large slice of the warm torta caprese on a dish, accompanied by the cafe latte. Let me take this to Dante. Understood. I'm sure the boss will be happy. Leo saw me off with a smile as I headed towards Dante's office. I stood in front of Dante's office and slowly knocked on the door. Come in. Dante was surrounded by stacks of paper. He was squinting as he looked through them, signing them off one by one. Dante? I decided to wait for him to finish, but he wasn't even taking the time to look up. You haven't had lunch yet, have you? How about taking a break? I don't have the time. I need to take care of these things right now. These trade documents need to be finalized before I do more against the Lao Shu. I made the dolce I promised to you before. Dante finally looked up from the papers and turned in my direction. I placed the torta caprese and the cafe latte on Dante's desk. Thank you. Although he thanked me, he was still holding on to the papers he was working on. The cafe latte is going to go cold at this rate. Would you mind taking a bite? I'd like to hear your thoughts. Dante finally set down the papers he had in his hand. Well, I should take a short break then. Oh, BB boy. With your pretty lashes. Eat your dessert. Thank you, Dante. I'm glad. She really came into this house and said, "Gaslight, gatekeep, girl boss." I'm so proud of her. I felt myself getting a bit anxious, watching Dante reach out towards my treat. He grabbed the fork, cut a piece, and brought it to his mouth when... You're not making it easy for me to eat. I've been so good for 30 minutes. Okay. Okay. Hold on. I just need to. I'm not actually going anywhere. I just need to fix my model. She's looking at the wrong place. I was like, almost bashed my head on the desk laughing at that. I'm okay. All right. All right. We're better. All better. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know I was staring at him so intently. His comment made me blush. You two need to stop being cutesy. And we need to get on with the plot. I've been being real good today. And you're making it awful for me. Okay. Stop it. Not that it's a problem. Stop it. Dante mumbled a bit and then ate a piece in one fell swoop. Delicious. I'm an adult, you guys. I'm glad to hear that. Somehow, this feels familiar to before. Perhaps when I said brought the baba that time, you said it was delicious then too. Right. The food you make always tastes delicious. Even this scarcella you made at the church was. What? Dante knew I was making sweets back at the church? Does that mean he knew me since before the incident? Dante speaks, interrupting my thoughts. Have you eaten already? Oh, not yet. I wanted you to have the first bite. If you make dolce again, perhaps we can, well, eat together. Elena's not here, Dante. We can't do that. I'm okay. Listen, sometimes when you're chronically ill, if you've had a migraine for 5 days, you get a little weird. It happens. Sometimes you're just a little weird all the time. It happens. Really? Yes. I wouldn't mind it. Well then, let's. A bit flustered, I nodded in agreement at Dante's suggestion. Meanwhile, sharing 2. What? There was a sharing 1? Nicola Francesca. We're expecting our next move to be a big one, which is why I'm here to see you. I see. So how much have you guys done? I'm guessing there's no ship involved this time. We made sure their ships were sunk for good. They won't be able to ship their goods for a while. Good to hear. We're planning to corner them in our next move, so it would be great if you folks could turn a blind eye. I respect your family for letting us know beforehand, so do what you need to do. In any case, it's good to know that things are going well so far. Luckily, we have talent in our family, so I wouldn't expect anything less. The Falzone family elite, hey? So, when are you going to make your move? Not yet. That time will come. What are you doing, Nicola? Well, I'll leave the timing up to you. Let me know if anything else comes up. Grazie. You're of great help. Well then, I guess I should be going. What are you doing, Nicola? A bit flustered, I nodded in agreement at Dante's suggestion. I was happy that Dante seemed to have opened up a little to me. Days passed since I had delivered the dolce to Dante. Then one day, Leo hurriedly came to see me. We're going to hit another target today, so the manor is going to be vacant again. That means now's the chance to get out. But I couldn't seem to get myself excited about Leo's suggestion. I feel bad about lying to Dante and Nicola. And not only that, but I'm burdening you more than I should. Well, I've done my homework, since it didn't go all that well last time. I checked first, and it looks like Sister Sophia's returned to the church. Sister Sophia! It had been a while since I had last seen her. There were so many things I wanted to ask, so I wanted to see her again. I understand how you feel, wanting to meet with Sister Sophia. What? Remember how I told you I didn't have any... Remember how you told me you didn't have any parents? Well, it's the same for me too. Oh, Leo. Leo looked down a bit, then began to speak with a perplexed look on his face. The boss found me on the streets, which is how I joined the Falzone family. The Falzone family is exactly that to me. Family. Leo. Which is why I think I know how you feel. After all, I didn't have anyone to call family before. Now I do. But that means you'd be lying to your family. Well, yes, but families are important to everyone. So, I want to do something for you. Cute baby, sweet boy, tiny little baby. I love him. Leo is such a kind soul. The Laoshu's activities aren't as rampant as before, so it shouldn't be too dangerous to go outside. It should be fine, as long as we stay in Arca. So let's go. Thank you, Leo. I do want to see Sister Sophia. Leave it to me. I'll guard you even better than the last time. I'm gonna save. I'm feeling worried here. I finished my breakfast as quickly as I could. Leo and I slipped out of the manor and headed back to the church. We went through Falce and Arca and arrived without any issues. I'll wait here. I'm sure you want some time alone with Sister Sophia. No, you have to come with me. You have to guard me, sir. Thank you, Leo. I'll be back soon. I entered the refectory and was greeted by a welcome sight. Sister Sophia! My Pink! I reached out and embraced her tightly. She rubbed me on my back to console me. It felt like forever since I saw her in Dante's office, and even longer since the incident here. Sister Sophia, are you all right? Why, yes. I was in a hospital catering to the Falzone family, so I'm fine. Sister Sophia. Get away from her. Sophia? Out of my way. Sophia protected me that night. Just the thought of what could have happened back then brought a chill down my spine. Did Senior Falzone allow you to return here? Nope. Well, I came here today because I wanted to ask you a question. I'll be going back to the manor afterwards. I see. So what is it you wanted to ask me? Do you know what the Key Maiden is? I didn't know whether she knew what it was or even heard of it. But the moment she heard those words, a stern expression came across her face. You should ask Signor Falzone that question. Just tell me! It's not fair. He's not going to give me a straight answer. I deserve to know. If he hasn't told you anything yet, then I have nothing to say either. Please, Sister Sophia, I want to know what's going on. It will be fine. Sophia placed her hand on my shoulder and smiled at me to try and calm me down. He will understand you're wanting to know the truth if you are sincere about it. As the Falzone family boss, he will make the right decision on when to speak with you. Don't leave my fate in the hands of a man. How dare you? Sister Sophia. Come to think of it, I haven't actually asked him about it yet. I should actually try and approach him and ask him about it. Thank you for speaking with me, Sister Sophia. I need to hurry back. I actually stepped out without letting Dante know. Because I'm a brat. Oh my. That is not good. I'll be honest with Dante about what I did and apologize to him. Oh, a member of the Falzone family actually accompanied me here. I don't want him to get in trouble. So, could you assume I came here alone? Lying isn't good, but I only see you with me here. I can't answer any other way if Signor Falzone asks me about our meeting. Grazie, Sophie. Now hurry on back. Yes, I'll see you again. Bye, Mom. Oh no, we're gonna get in trouble. Leo and I were walking back to Falche when I told him what I was going to do. Um, Leo, moving forward, I don't think we should go out like this. Dante doesn't let me know a lot of things, but he's always answered my questions to the extent that he could. And yet, I was scared of him during the torturing. A fair reason to be scared of him. I might have been subconsciously trying to avoid touching on what happened back then. I really feel bad for not asking Dante myself and just sneaking out like this. This could also put you in a bad position, so I really don't think we should anymore. Well, I was the one who forced the idea on you. I'm sorry. There's nothing you need to apologize for, Leo. You did all this to try and help me. You can't imagine how much you've helped me with your kindness. I'm forever grateful. I thanked Leo with a smile. Stop right there. What? 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 I've been keeping watch since I heard the Key Maiden was roaming outside with a guard. Who knew you'd actually show up? Must be my lucky day. Leo. Shit. What do you want, Laoshu? Huh? You stupid? Hand over the Key Maiden. Kill him, Leo. Key Maiden. He has to be referring to me. The Laoshu brandished his knife and charged towards us. Behind me. Leo covered me and drew his gun, targeting the Laoshu's arm. We're in Arca, you guys can't fight. Damn it. Leo's shot penetrated the Laoshu's shoulder, making him drop his knife. I didn't know you were this skilled. Despite being surprised at first, Leo reacted quickly and calmly. Oh, I'm not that. Hey, over there. Our guy's down. Get them. This isn't good. Let's go. Going against more than one would be too much, so Leo quickly grabbed my hand and ran. Leo was a lot faster than I was. I couldn't keep pace with his speed. Just a little longer. Leo urged me on and turned the corner. What? We ran right into a person the moment we turned the corner. Marco! What the? You're that Falzone kid. Watch where you're going. Marco! What are you doing here, Pink? And what's the big rush? Help! We're being chased. Chased? By whom? Ah! It's the murder man! You two, hide over there. We ran into the side alley that Marco pointed to. Where the hell are they? I don't see them around. Marco and Roberto walked towards the Laoshu in pursuit of us. Hey. What's with all this ruckus? You're in Arca, so keep it down, will ya? Huh? Who the hell are you? Wait, aren't they? We're with the police. How about we have a little chat down at the station? We ain't got any of them Chinese teas, but we can at least serve you some free coffee. With the police in sight, the Laoshu quickly turned on their heels and ran away. Miss. Dante Falzone. Leo, Pink, and a few others were the only ones at the manor. Most of the Falzone family moved out to lay siege on the against the Laoshu, but not a single rat in sight. Sorry, Dante. Looks like my intel wasn't right this time. Nicola, what are you doing? So it seems. Something doesn't feel right. Were we handed false information? If so, where are they? With the police in sight, the Laoshu quickly turned on their heels and ran away. We breathed a sigh of relief from the alley after seeing them disappear. With the Laoshu gone, Marco and Roberto came into the alley. So what's going on here? Those guys were with the Laoshu. Leo and I looked at each other with grim expressions. We were suddenly ambushed by them. We don't know what's going on. I can't imagine this being your fault. Roberto surprisingly let me off the hook. Then he glared at Leo with a frown. Don't you make mean faces at sweet little tiny baby boy. He's perfect. I'm guessing that you were approached by them because you're with a Falzone. We should escort her back to the church, Marco. It's not safe for her to be with the Mafia. I can't let you do that. I need to bring her back to the manor. What? Back to your place? Roberto! I don't know what's going on there. Going on here, but I do know that the Laoshu will be back. If they approach you folks when you didn't do anything, they must have had their reasons. I wouldn't be surprised if they were still waiting in the wings to pounce on you. Well... Leo pondered for a bit, then turned to me with a stern look on his face. If I'm alone, I can get back to the manor no matter what they have in store. So, let me go back by myself and get the car. I'll come for you. So do you mind waiting? Boy, where am I gonna wait? I pondered for a bit and then came to a decision. What? This is a horrible decision to make. If he dies, we're quitting the game. That's it. No more PioFiore. We're done. Understood. Thank you, Leo. But please be careful. No problem. Wait for me to return. I'll try to be back as soon as possible. We can take a break later with Julia's fresh brewed coffee and dolce. Leo smiled, trying to ease my worries. I will throw a fit. That sounds good. I'll ask her to give you an extra helping, Leo. I nodded back to him with a smile on my face. May I ask you both to take care of her while I'm gone? I'll be right back. Got it. They won't bother her at our station. It's close by, so it'll be a safe trip down. Thank you very much. I'll be right back. With that, Leo turned around and ran off towards Valche. I saw him off with a prayer for safety. I don't know what you're going through, but you need to get yourself away from them. Roberto gave me a stern warning, and Marco lightly jabbed him in the shoulder. Robbie. Robbie! Rule number 1 for survival here. Don't get involved if you don't know what's happening. It's fair rule. Roberto didn't say anything in response, but it was clear he wasn't very pleased. I think it was best if I don't say why I'm with the Foul Zone. With nothing for me to say, I followed Marco to the station. We were approaching the police station when we noticed the tension in the air. The police seemed to be controlling traffic. What's going on? One of the officers steering traffic noticed us, then ran towards Marco. What? Did something happen? A Laoshu is barring the entrance. If you don't mind, please go through the back. They're doing what? The Laoshu? Here? Marco, can I go in to defuse the situation? I'll show them not to toy with the police. Go for it. But don't overdo it, you hear? I'll do my best. Roberto, please, be careful. You don't have to worry about me. Roberto turned quickly and headed to the entrance. Marco and I went into the alley that led to the back of the station. Ah! No! This is a bad route. It's not Leo that's gonna die. It's me. What's going on? Hi, Yang. I'm not in love with you this route, but I'm still happy to see you. There was a man standing in the alley. All he was doing was standing there, but I could tell he was no ordinary person. The Laoshus. Beads of sweat appeared on Marco's forehead. He put his hand to his gun and slowly backed away. Is that... Fret. Oh boy. Others. Fortunately, I didn't run into any Laoshu on my way back to the manor. Just when I arrived. Boss! He must have returned from his mission. I could see the boss, Nicola, and the other members of the family around. What's the hurry there, Leo? I hesitated for a second. Well, knowing that her safety was the priority, I disclosed to the boss what happened. I took Pink outside. We were attacked by the Laoshu on our way back from the church, so she's with the police now. Understood. Get the car now. Dante, you don't need to go. Let us take care of. The boss calmly gave orders to the men, despite Nicola's attempt to intervene. Domenico, you and 10 others stay here. Nicola, contact Paris. I'll suspect we need some cover. Understood. Nicola raised his brow at the boss's orders, but still nodded in agreement. Get in the car, Leo. We're leaving. Understood. We arrived at the police station and ran inside through the entrance. What are you planning? Are you trying to free your members behind bars? I could hear shouting from the interrogation room. The officer was causing... Oh my god. I'm so flustered. I saw Yang for a minute and I'm like, oh my god, my man is back to murder me or everyone around me. I don't know which, but I'm excited. I could hear shouting from the interrogation room. The officer was causing quite a ruckus. Come to think of it, there was this weird tension in the air along the streets leading up to here. Where is she? She's not here. Let's go and ask. There should be a blonde girl here. Have you seen her? Huh? I haven't seen anyone like that come here. Huh? Where's Marco? Marco's on his rounds and hasn't returned yet. Is there something you need from him? Have you noticed anything strange around here? There was a Laoshu causing problems earlier. Not sure if anything else was going on besides that. To be honest, we're having more problems in here than whatever's going on outside. Wait, then where did they go? I heard yelling from back there. Isn't that the young officer who just came back? Oh, you mean Roberto? Yeah, Roberto. If he's here, we'd like to talk to him. Sure, but you'll have to wait a bit. He's questioning someone right now. Wait? We don't have time to be waiting. While I was yelling here, it looked like the boss was thinking about something. Hi, Yang. You're back. Is that? I think I know who that is. But why would someone like him be here? The person in front of me rarely appeared in public. He was Valeno's. I see. It seems like I don't need to introduce myself. But I believe this country shows respect towards their women. No? I could tell he was mocking us. He took a step forward. Marco moved in front of me and yelled. Not a step closer. What do you want? Shut up. You're not worth my time. He gave a stern and cold command to Marco. All the while, his eyes were gazing at me. Take me, I'm yours. You can call me Yang. So he is Yang, the leader of the Laoshu. I felt a shiver go down my spine hearing him confirm his identity. To think he'd be an Arca. Marco seemed quite flustered as he kept his guard up against Yang. I had heard rumors of the Lao Shu before, but seeing him now put everything together. I want to run away, but I felt like he'd kill me the moment I turned my back to him. There was something about his presence that made me certain of it. In case you didn't know, the Foul Zone have been a bit of a nuisance to me lately. We Lao Shu are really in quite the predicament. His smile was playful despite what he was saying, all the while keeping his eyes on me. Most of our work has been thwarted by the Foul Zone. Oh, but they did a good job on their last strike. No boats means less work for me. But aside from getting in work's way, they've been getting rid of my men. Now my members have dwindled to nearly half of what I had before. In fact, my good friend, who's been with me since my Gao Long Senzai days, came back as only a head. Why are you telling me this? Are you dirty talking me, sir? He chuckled, seeing my reaction. He was killed like a bug in a faraway country who will never see his homeland again. Don't you feel sorry for my men? Do you want to weep into my bosom? I couldn't answer his question. He continued to speak without waiting for a response that would never come. Which is why the Lao Shu cannot simply cower and wait for such misery to befall them. I'd like to show my thanks to the Foul Zone, and the key to that is you. With neither of us able to speak, Yang finally ended his theatrical display. All he did was talk to us, but a fear unlike any I'd ever experienced before crept upon me. It's not fear for me. I'm so down bad for him. He's like, I'm gonna murder you. And I'm like, please. I have a problem. Sorry to interrupt, but we've got other business at hand, so we'll have to excuse ourselves. Thank you, Marco. Get me out of here. He spoke to Yang in a firm voice and grabbed my hand to move out. What's the rush? His cold smile was now accompanied by a unique sword in his hand. Marco covered me by stepping forward. He reached into his vest to grab his gun. Stop right there. Dante! Pink, thank God you're safe. The keepers of the grave, how delightful. Daddy, tell me all the secrets. How do you know that name? It's not just the name. I also know what role the key maiden holds. Tell me, tell me, tell me. How do you know that? Simple. We want to receive the blessings that this land has been given as well. I see. It looks like you know more than you need to. Get him! Dante shot at Yang's legs, but Yang quickly dodged the bullet. So you won't let those with the information live? I think I like your style. I have a problem. I'm sorry to anyone who's listening right now. Yang laughed and closed in, swinging his sword down like a whip on Dante's arm. Dante dodged the blade quickly and pointed his gun again at his target. But before the trigger could be pulled, Yang stepped within range to strike with his blade. Dante kicked Yang to create distance, but Yang took the hit with the side of his blade. Dante! Leo, Marco, now. Understood. Leave her to us. The two pulled me and took cover along the walls. We kept watch of the ensuing fight. You're not serious, are you? This isn't good. Yang seemed to be mumbling something amidst the shots and aimed at him. It's not going to do me any favors if you all die now. Damn you. He avoided the shots in the blink of an eye, closed in right next to Dante. Dante tried to kick again, but this time Yang grabbed his leg with his arms. Oh, wait. I can't use my sword like this. I'll let you go. Don't trip, all right? Why you? Dante swung his fist at Yang's head, but Yang simply dodged and moved back. He then raised his sword. No! Dante! It was then that Nicola appeared with the other members of the Foul Zone. More? This is getting a bit too tiring for my tastes. I guess I can leave now, since I've been sufficiently entertained by the looks on your faces. Come back! Don't leave me! Without any worries to speak of, Yang turned nimbly and ran off. After him. He must be killed. No! Leave him alive for me. The family nodded at Nicola's command. After seeing Yang in person, I couldn't imagine him being killed so easily. It was clear how tired everyone was upon returning to the Foul Zone Manor. Julia greeted us with a smile and tended to our needs. Oh my, you all look tired. Let me get something warm too. I'll be I'll be stepping out again, so you can skip me. Very busy, aren't you, young Nicola? Well, why don't you at least have a cup of coffee for now? I'll be back by nightfall, so maybe then. Thank you, Julia. Understood. Please do let me know when you return. Nicola smiled back at Julia as she left the salon. Leo, I need to talk to you in private. Understood. Leo's going to get in trouble. Before I could say something, the two left the salon. Nicola shrugged and mumbled. Here comes the scolding. Huh? I mean, Leo did take you out without permission, you know. To add, we have Yang coming out of the woodwork. If Dante didn't show up, you'd be dead by now. True. But Leo did what he did for me. I need to speak with Dante. I wouldn't if I were you. Shut up, Nicola. Nicola kindly tried to stop me, but I was already running out of the room by then. With no one else in the salon, Nicola took a deep breath and sighed. Julia isn't going to be happy when she sees there's no one here to serve coffee to. Maybe you should stay, Nicola, instead of being shady. Dante! It was the first and possibly only time I slammed the door open to Dante's office. I'm busy. Stay outside. I was the one who said that I wanted to see Sister Sophia at the church. Leo just complied with my wishes. I'm the one at fault here. I haven't seen Dante look at me like that before. Upon seeing the intensity in his expression, I couldn't help but take a step back in surprise. I thought I told you not to leave here. We have you in our custody to protect you from the dangers lurking outside. But I know that, and... No, you don't. You know what could have happened if we didn't get there in time? You could have been killed, or worse. Do you even know what you've gotten into? I couldn't say a word. I haven't seen him this angry before. Did I skip something? He's angrier than when I tried to escape from the balcony before. Seeing him like this was making me shiver. Ice Prince. I'm sorry. It's my fault. I didn't think of the repercussions. Leo bowed down to in apology to Dante. Dante walked in front of Leo. Stand up straight. Don't hit my baby boy, my little man, my tiny, teeny, weeny little boy. How dare you? He's just a baby. Dante's palm struck Leo squarely on the cheek. Leo faltered, but still held his ground. Good boy. I'll smack him for you. I'll do it. Next time, think before you act. With that, Dante turned his back to Leo and returned to his desk. Understood. Forgive me. I'll excuse myself, senor. Leo! Leo gave a deep bow and apology to Dante in appreciation, then exited the office. With Dante sitting in his chair in silence, I decided to apologize to Dante yet again. I'm sorry, Dante. I didn't die, so we're gonna save. I wanted to learn what the Key Maiden was. I think it refers to me, but it was unsettling to not know what it means. So I thought maybe Sister Sophia knew what it was, and you left the manor to find out. And did you get what you wanted? I shook my head in response to Dante's stern questioning. No, I didn't get anything. Sister Sophia told me that she wouldn't say since you haven't told me yet. It was then I realized that I hadn't asked you about it in person yet. You're always so busy, so I couldn't find the opportunity to ask. When I spoke with Nicola, he seemed to want to avoid talking about it. So I figured you wouldn't let me know what it was either. Did Nicola tell you anything? Only to not speak of it again, and that there were some things he couldn't explain. Dante took a deep breath, as if trying to regain his calm. I suppose it's my fault for not explaining myself enough. Yeah, boy, you haven't explained shit to me. You just said, come here, I'm gonna protect you. And that's it. You also lied to me before and told me my basically mother figure was dead. Like, we're having some issues communicating, and a lot of it is your fault. And Nicola's. A lot of it is Nicola's fault too. But you know, stop being tsundere and we can work on this. I understand that you may be anxious or feeling scared about your situation. Dante looked away briefly, with a hint of agony and hesitation on his face. But I don't explain to you certain things because it's for your own good. It would have been best for you to live your life without knowing certain things. Okay, I get that. You think that, but I should also be allowed to make my own decisions. Granted, it's 1925 Italy, and I don't get to. Which sucks. Be better. Which is why I'm still hesitant to share what I know with you. His azure eyes expressed his hesitation. I looked into them to plead my case. I want to know what's going on Because it concerns me. I understand that you're trying to protect me, and I appreciate what you're doing. But now that I know that this key maiden has something to do with me, I want to know what it is and think for myself what to do. Dante listened to my plea and let out a tiny but gentle smile. Oh, that smile. The smile's the only reason why you're getting anywhere with me right now, sir. Me, the streamer. Pink. Immediately after he said my name, clamor ensued outside the manor. Something's going down. And we're going to take a break because I need to get up and stretch. What's going on? What happened? What happened? Who knows? Ooh, chapter 5. Exciting. Assaultory. Inside the office, sounds of shouting could be heard from outside. Dante looked to see. I looked to Dante to see if he knew what was happening. What's going on? Boss, it's an emergency. Leo, I thought I told you to knock. I'm sorry, but it's urgent. We're being attacked. Attacked? How many? One. Take care of it then. We're trying, but he's too strong. He knocked out Domenico. What? Pietro and Giacomo are holding down the fort now, but they said to get you out of here. Evacuate? Don't be foolish. Dante stood up from his seat, gun in hand, and prepared to step out. I'll go. Leo, you stay here and guard her. I knew you'd say that, boss, but you can't. Leo blocked the door to keep Dante from leaving. The enemy could be after you, boss. That's why we need you to escape to a safe location. Leo, do you think I'd be killed so easily? Of course not, but no, I won't let you go. I knew something terrible was happening. With each gunshot I heard from below, a sense of fear slowly came over me. I couldn't hide my pale complexion, and the fear was causing my body to shiver. Seeing me visibly shaken, Dante's azure eyes widened. Leo looked where Dante was looking and noticed me as well before speaking again. That's right. You need to protect her, boss. Leo, you take her end. No, I'll take her with me. Huh? Yes, please do, boss. Let's go, Pink. Yes. I couldn't keep up with the events going on around me, but I decided to go with Dante. Leo followed us from behind. Did you have a good dinner? Baby? Hi. Hi. Did you enjoy your dinner? Yeah? Hi. Oh, you're welcome. Do I get kisses now? Oh, I get headbutts? Okay. Thank you, baby. Dante stopped suddenly, then extended his arm out in front of me to tell me to stop. Hmm? A young man was standing in our way, holding a dagger. You're that man from before. If you recall, I was interrupted earlier, which is why I'm here to speak with you. But first, I need you to come with me. Don't be afraid. That night, he appeared at the church to take me, and now he's standing in front of us again. He stared at me as if Dante and Leo weren't there. Pinker NeonNova, I need to speak with you. Me? Yes. I am a disciple of the church. A disciple? Dante stepped in front of me to block me from the young man and an uninvited guest who doesn't belong here. Dante Falzone, are you going to get in my way? Of course. Do you expect me to let you go? Then I need to silence you. The young man charged with his dagger before even finishing his sentence. Boss! No! Leo! Leo jumped in between them to shield Dante. The dagger slashed across Leo's arm. Get out of my way. I came to speak with her. Don't be ridiculous. Do you seriously think you can get away with what you've done here? If you're still going to get in my way, I have no other choice but to fight. Wait! I hurried to call out to the young man in an attempt to prevent any further bloodshed. The young man looked at me quietly with his colored eyes. I don't trust you. What? The young man flinched and held his breath. Even if you are a member of the church, you hurt Leo. How could I ever trust you? But my mission is important. I had no other choice. I don't have time to convince the Mafia. Their blood has already been forsaken. I don't understand what you're saying. if you think you can do anything you want in order to accomplish your mission, then there's no way I can trust you, ever. But you trust the Falzone? They're mafia. Yes, everyone here is part of the mafia. I'm aware that not all of their actions are in the name of justice. But I trust them far more than those who would harm someone trying to protect another. I looked at Dante, and he seemed a lot calmer now. Did I do the wrong thing? But the church's will is always right. Is it? Little man, is it? That's why I need you to. Boss, are you all right? I heard the footsteps coming towards us. The others arrived while I was talking to him. Fine. I have accomplished my initial goal. I will let her go for today. Upon seeing the others approaching, he turned his eyes towards Dante. I shall leave you with this warning. The church will not wait for much longer. We will not continue to offer the protection we have previously bestowed. With that, he quickly turned to the window and leapt out. Ah! Boss, are you hurt? I'm fine. Leo's been injured. That was too close for comfort. Oh, my sweet little baby boy. Why? With the peril gone, Leo knelt down to the floor. Leo, show me your arm. We need to bandage it. Oh, that's fine. It was only a scratch. It isn't that bad at all, really. Dante stepped away from his men and looked down at Leo sitting on the ground. Leo, why did you intervene? Why? Well, it just sort of happened. I mean, it's our duty to protect you, boss. But I'm sorry. You could have avoided that easily, right? I must have gotten in your way back there. Dante patted Leo on the head in a consoling way, then gave orders to one of his men. Giacomo, take care of Leo. Oh, I can patch him up. No, I need you to return to your room. Get yourself ready to leave here. What? Now, understand? Yes. Surprised by his seriousness, I nodded back reluctantly. Get ready, but I arrived here empty-handed. There wasn't much that belonged to me. So, does this mean he's going to let me return to the church? Or is he planning on taking me somewhere else? I had no clue what Dante was planning. Just a moment, I'm coming. Hey there, miss. I brought you something. He walked into my room carrying a trunk with him. Carrying too much can make it difficult to move, so just put what you need in here. Anything that doesn't fit, we can send later, so just pack what you can. I understand. Thank you. Well, I'll be waiting outside. When you're ready, call me in. From the sound of it, it doesn't seem like they're going to send me to the church. Which means they're going to hide me somewhere else. Thoughts of where I'd be going filled my mind as I quickly packed my things into the trunk. All of these things were given to me during my time here. With the trunk filled, I opened the door and called out to the family member. I'm sorry to keep you waiting. I'm ready now. Good. I'll take the trunk and carry it to the car. Ah, Carlo. Carlo woke up and was now meowing and rubbing past my leg. What should I do with Carlo? Sorry, but he can't come with us. I'll ask Julia to take good care of him. Understood. I'm sorry, Carlo. I need to step out for a bit. We'll meet again. I promise. No! My kitty cat. That makes me so sad. I don't like it. Let me take him. He's my baby. Oh, I have a tickle in my throat from talking. It's because I talked all day at work. We were really busy today. And then I come home and talk some more. Carlo looked at me with a puzzled expression. Sorrow began to fill my heart. Senorna, please hurry. I'm sorry. Goodbye, Carlo. Please take care. I tried to keep my composure while turning to leave the room. His tiny meows. I heard Carlo meowing sadly from behind. I forced myself to keep moving. I felt a pang of regret, but I continued outside without turning back. I saw that the car was ready to take me. Leo had already been tended to and was there to see me off. Oh, Leo, are you all right? Yes, I'm all patched up. I'll be all right. I sighed with relief, seeing Leo's bright and energetic smile. Good. Baby's okay. Leo, I need to speak with you. Come. Yes. Leo responded immediately and ran off in Dante's direction. I watched the two of them speaking from afar while I awaited my departure. Their conversation ended, but instead of Leo returning, it was Dante who came walking towards me. I can hear my cat snoring. She's so cute. Y'all, my baby's snoring. She's so sleepy. Pink, get in the car. Where to? I'll explain once we depart. Without saying another word, Dante opened the door to the car for me to go inside. I felt a brief sense of anxiety come upon me as I quietly entered the car. We left the manor with the aftermath of the fight earlier still in the air. Where is Dante going to take me this time? It's been a while since we left the manor. I haven't seen this area before. The car slowed down and came to a complete stop at a corner. Get out of the car. I obeyed Dante and disembarked. Circle the town several times, then return to the manor. Make sure you aren't followed. Understood. Please be careful, boss. After Dante gave his orders to the driver, he took my trunk and began walking. I chased after him immediately. Despite holding my luggage, Dante was still walking faster than me. He weaved through the streets without telling me where we were going. You stupid tsundere. Tell me things. I mustered the courage to follow him through the dimly lit roads. This is pretty tiring. We'd been walking for quite a while, but Dante's pace hadn't slowed a bit. I could tell I was panting, but I needed to keep up with him. Dante turned around and noticed that he was walking some distance ahead of me. Sorry, it seems I was walking too quickly. I'm fine. I can keep up. I appreciate it. I know it's tiring, but I want you to walk a little longer. He spoke with a hint of remorse in his voice and continued his walk down the road. Dante seemed to be walking more slowly now. I could keep up without too much effort. He adjusted his speed for me, as he should. He even apologized after he noticed how behind I was. Seeing his kindness and concern brought a gentle warmth to my heart. Press X to doubt. Time passed quickly as we continued our walk, and soon dusk was upon us. Dante finally came to a stop in front of a house. Where are we? Dante set my trunk on the floor as I looked around inside. This is the hideout we use in case of emergencies. We needed to hide you quickly, especially considering our manor was breached so easily. Dante looked down and took a breath. Then he looked straight at me. There's no assurance that this place is safe. But considering everyone in town knows where the Falzone family manor is, this place should be much safer. Right. That makes sense. Of course, we can't cater to your needs as well here, so you'll need to bear with us. I don't think excessive catering is necessary. This place is actually quite nice. Really? This house is much bigger and nicer than the room I lived in back at the church. I sat on the sofa and smiled. Dante looked at me with a somewhat surprised expression. He then chuckled a bit and gave a small smile. So much happened today. I should get some rest. I left the manor this morning in the I can read. I left the manor in the morning and saw Sister Sophia. On the way back, I was attacked by the Lao Shu, then saved by Marco and the others. Then that person, Yang, appeared. Yang! When I returned, the manor was attacked by a young man professing to be with the church. I can't believe all this happened in just a single day. The same could be said for Dante. Arriving here and finally settling down must have broken my stream of adrenaline. Drowsiness suddenly washed over me. Pink? Dante called my name, seeing my eyelids closing. I know he's calling me, but I can't fight the sleep taking hold. Slowly but surely, I began my descent into slumber. I don't know how much time had passed, but I felt a comfortable warmth around me. I opened my eyes at the sunlight and the chirping of birds outside. Where am I? The room looked foreign, but as I grew more conscious, my mind slowly recalled what all had happened. I immediately jumped out of the bedroom. I ran to the living room. There on the sofa was Dante. Awake? You look a lot better than you did yesterday. I'm sorry, Dante. I didn't know that I fell asleep. Unbelievable. You slept so soundly, even after all that happened. Well, I was just tired because of everything that happened, you know? It's called exhaustion. Dante chuckled, seeing me flustered and trying to make excuses for myself. That's fine, as long as you slept well. I have some cafe ready for you. Shall I? Why, certainly. Dante prepared a cafe latte with generous heapings of milk and sugar. It tasted good. I could feel the warmth spreading inside me. I'm fine. Loosening my tension. I'm fine. I got this. Say, Dante, how long are we going to stay here? I'm not sure, but I don't intend on leaving here until you're safe. I see. I nodded lightly as I remembered yesterday. It shouldn't be long until we exterminate them all so that you can go back to the church. That's what he said, but with what had just happened, I doubt I could return to the church anytime soon. It can't be helped. I'll get it. You stay put. Dante carefully looked out the window to verify, then opened the door. Oh, this creep. Good morning to you. Did you both sleep well? Yeah, we did. Nicola came in, arms filled with several bags. Here's the breakfast panini, Dante. I also brought more for later. Where do you want them? Ah. Could you place any food items in the kitchen? I looked over the goods Nicola brought and breathed a sigh of relief. Did you come here alone? It must have been heavy carrying all of these things. Not that I had a choice. Really, I'm one of the few people who knows of this place. Nicola placed the bags down, then spoke in an apologetic tone. I'm sorry I was out when we were attacked, Dante. Things might have been different if I had been around. Don't worry about it. You had to take care of other things anyway. I suppose. I was going to come here earlier, but taking care of Leo's message pretty much took all night. Leo's message? Come to think of it, weren't you telling him something before we left the manor? Yes, I gave him directives so that things would remain in control, even in my absence. One of them was my message to Nicola to handle all the duties at the manor. It's tough playing the boss, you know. Nicola shrugged and let out a sigh, but it seemed like he was handling things well. I was finally able to come here after taking care of all the petty issues at home. That sounds tough. Thank you, Nicola. Don't thank him. He's being shady, and we don't like it. Well, I'd hate for the public to find out we took a hit. We do have an image to maintain. So, did you have any problems? Not at all. In fact, as far as the public is concerned, it's business as usual for the Falzone family. We even made sure to bring in doctors we could trust to check on our men. Of course, that's not to say it was a cakewalk getting things under control, but I think I did a good job keeping things intact. Good work, Nicola. What else is there to report? A lot more, but could we do it after breakfast? I haven't had anything to eat. Our breakfast ended up being the panini Nicola brought, accompanied by fresh coffee. Nicola continued his report during breakfast, informing us about what happened. 24 of our men were injured, with some requiring hospitalization. No deaths to report. Thank goodness. We're looking for the assailant, but at this point we have no leads. Nicola spoke more about the family, as well as the current situation both in and outside of the manor. I think that's about all I've got now. Nicola wrapped up his report just as we finished with breakfast. Let me brew some more coffee for us. Grazie. Could you make it in an espresso? Of course. And you, Dante? I'll leave it to you. I headed to the kitchen and heated up a kettle of water for coffee. After some thought, I decided to make an espresso and 2 cups of cafe latte. Enjoy! I set the coffee down and got myself seated. Dante looked directly at me and spoke. I don't believe you fully comprehended the situation as it currently stands, which is why I'll explain to you the bare minimum that you should know, at least. You haven't explained things to her yet? Shut up, Nicola! Listen, he's cute in his route. In other routes, he's a brat. And we don't like him. Especially this one. She must have been quite scared the whole night, not knowing what was going on. I actually felt sound asleep. I must have been really tired. He couldn't explain it to me because I was completely unconscious within mere moments. Dante noticed my red face and coughed slightly. I know this will sound strange, but let me explain to you what the Mafia really is. They're really starting from basics. The Mafia originally began as an extra-legal guardians of local farmland. Oh, we're getting lore. We're getting the good lore. Gimme, 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 gimme. They prospered by developing their forces and allying themselves with those in power. I recall hearing that the word mafia didn't always refer to the criminal organization. Then, did you know that the mafia also referred to a secret society? Well, yes, though I'm not sure what's so secret about it. Just know that the Mafia possesses a vast amount of secret information within its families. Okay. Okay. We're going to need some water for this. I should also explain Berlone's unique situation. This town is under the Kingdom of Italy, but is mostly autonomous in its control. Do you know why Berlone has been given such authority? Because Berlone was originally a papal state. Papal states, areas under the rule and order of the Pope and the state of the Church. Ever since Berlone was joined with the Kingdom of Italy, the Church's influence is still strong, isn't it? Exactly. And that's about all that most people are aware of. There's more! Is there another reason? Dante replied in a serious voice. The reason why Berlone was under the Church in the first place can answer your question. It's because this town possesses a sacred relic. Sacred relic, a divine object often associated with holiness, including the remnants of saints. It is believed that these relics bestowed special blessings upon the land where they lie. In the medieval era, many fought countless times to gain rights to these relics to prove their right to rule. A sacred relic? My eyes widened in disbelief. Dante nodded. The church views this land as special because of that relic. But the other towns have theirs too. The relics are widely known and viewed as objects of faith. That's the problem. The relic here has been kept secret from the public. Oh my god. Why is the voice getting away from me here? Which is why the church has made sure to keep the Kingdom of Italy away from this town. And the Falzone family is the keeper of the relic. Okay. We bear the mission of protecting this relic from all who seek it. Wait a minute, Dante. I can't keep up. I'm keeping up just fine, girl. Come on. The information was starting to confuse me, but Dante continued on. Do you know about the legend that's spoken of in this town? About the prophecy given by the angel who commanded the church to be built here? The person who received that message was a Falzone. Really? But I thought the source of the legend was lost. To the public, yes. Though some of it may have been lost with time. Most of it was purposely obscured by our ancestors, especially as it relates to the relic. Niccolo nonchalantly explained the details, while Dante kept his eyes on me. The Falzone families protected the relic since before this town was built. Before the town was even built? I couldn't hide my confusion. Dante looked calm and continued to explain. Throughout history, we fought those who sought to rule this land, and at times sided with those in power. Over time, we became the de facto guardians of the land and its people. With each passing era, the activities of the Falzone changed, and here we stand today as the Mafia. Okay. That's kind of cool. I get it. I'm following along. Yeah. Somehow, everything Dante told me seemed to make sense. Naturally, I had one question in mind. So, what is the sacred relic that you've been protecting? That I can't say. All I can say is that it's guarded by a special seal. Seal? Earth? Yes, it's the Falzone family's. Dante, I think you've explained enough. Huh? There isn't much else to discuss now. The rest concerns that which she doesn't need to know. Hey! Shut the front door, Nicola. I should be allowed to know. No, she has the right to know. After all that has happened. She also needs to understand the importance of her existence. Yeah, this is about me now, Nicola. Watch your fucking mouth, sir. But knowing that isn't going to change our situation. Shouldn't we prioritize what's important to the family instead? Shut up! No. There's nothing more important to the Foul Zone than our mission. The silence between Nicola and Dante was making me feel uneasy. I held my cup in my hands so that I wouldn't make a sound amidst the silence. With all the discussion, our coffee went cold. I'll refill our cups, so why don't we take a break? I need some time to process things too. Yes, of course. That would be fine. Nicholas sighed quietly as he rose from his seat and proceeded to the door. Nicola, I'm going to get some fresh air. I'll be back by the time the coffee is ready. Dante and I were left alone together in the living room. I couldn't think of anything to break the silence. I quietly boiled a new pot of water and began washing our cups. I'm sorry. What? Are you all right? This must all be too much to take at once. No, Pink, it's serious. Stop it. Okay. Well, I can't say I wasn't surprised. Big Dick Dante confirmed. Okay. I'm fine. Then again, every day has been a surprise since you brought me along with you. I suppose I've been very confused for some time now. Dante stared at me in silence. But it's far better for me to know than to not know what's going on. That way, I can think for myself and figure out what I want to do too, you know? Dante's eyes narrowed a bit as if he was looking at something bright. You're strong. Your spirit is well deserving of respect. I promise you, in the name of the Foul Zone, that I will not lie to you from now on. Oh, thank you, baby boy. But you shouldn't have lied to me from the beginning. I still think I should be allowed to slap you just once. I couldn't bring myself to speak. His piercing eyes were like looking into the Adriatic Sea in the winter. Dante took a deep breath, then lowered his head slightly before speaking. I wanted to return you to your normal life without your knowing the details. I sincerely believe that was the best outcome I could offer you. Dante, but perhaps that was wrong. Dante spoke with a look that betrayed regret over his past choices. Dante, I finally understand that you were only doing what you thought was best. We both looked at each other in silence. Ah, I'm back. I checked out the area, and it seems as though all is quiet out there. Then we should continue our discussion. Yes. I placed the coffee cups on the table and took my seat. Where did we leave off? Was it about the seal to the relic? You said it was guarded by a special seal. That's right. The relic is securely sealed so that it will not be taken into unworthy hands. That said, we also have a way to break the seal in case of emergencies. What do you mean by emergency? For example, if Berlone is dragged into war or struck by disaster. Okay. Yeah. God protect the relic. We may be forced to move the relic to a safer location. Okay. I suppose you're right. According to legends, there are two things needed to break the seal. And they are... One is the Guardian's blood, Falzone blood. That's why you're so protective of your bloodline. Oh my god. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. That is the reason why the Falzone has striven to keep our bloodline pure. The other thing needed is... Dante paused for a moment, then looked at me with resolve on his face. The Key Maiden. Key. What Dante just said sounded like lore from an old fairy tale, but his expression said otherwise. These two are insurance to help protect the relic from unforeseen circumstances. And the Key Maiden is... Dante and Nicola both looked at me. You mean me? But... Dante didn't correct me, but continued to speak. You should have a unique mark upon you. It is proof that you are the Key Maiden. Ah! Without thinking, my hand covered my chest. You were brought to the church in Berlone as the Key Maiden. The church selects the Key Maiden through astrological methods every 10 years. Since then, the Falzone family has kept watch over you from the shadows. Wait, does that mean you know who my real parents are? No. We were not informed of your past from before you came to Berlone. I see. I'm sorry. Please continue. Right, now, about the Key Maiden. Say, Dante, how about we stop here? Why do you want to keep stopping, sir? Nicola interrupted Dante with a bothered look on his face. I don't think any more details are necessary. You've said all she needs to know, right? To add, I don't think it's a good idea to put so much emphasis on the relic and the seal when it's only a legend. Why are you such a sourpuss? What is wrong with you? Sir, I don't understand. We'd be fools if it turns out that none of it was real. But I do have a sign, a scar on me. Maybe the Key Maiden is real in the way that the Falzone family is real. But there's nothing divine about it. You're both crossing the line into fantasy. Are you implying the Falzone blood and the Key Maiden are relics of the past? That's right. Don't you know what year it is? It's 1925. We're in the 20th century. Nicola says, fuck this. How much longer are you going to place faith in miracles and legends? Dante didn't answer. He simply stared at Nicola quietly. Nicola stared back with eyes like the calm sea, but soon enough he looked away. I'm sorry. I suppose I got worked up there. I don't care what you think about my thoughts on the legend's validity. But what you've shared here is top secret material. Talking about it was a mistake. She has a right to know as the Key Maiden. I see nothing wrong with it. Of course, I wouldn't have disclosed what was said here had she not been dragged into our activities. I know you're a nice person, Dante, but those outside our bloodline can betray us. We don't have anything to prove that we can trust her. Was that too much? I'm sorry. Shut up. No, you're not, Nicola. You're not sorry. You're never sorry. You're the worst. You did disregard Dante's orders and left the manor of your own accord, didn't you? I'm sorry. I couldn't refute it, since what he said was true. I looked down in shame. Dante was looking straight at Nicola when he spoke. That's something for which I'm partially at fault. I didn't properly explain to her. I'll say it again. She has the right to know. That is my decision as the boss of the Falzone family. Hearing Dante's stern words, Nicola shut his mouth and sighed in dissatisfaction. Fine, I give up. But if we're going to talk, let's stay constructive. There's nothing more to say about the legend. What's important now is the current situation. Why did you bring her here? It's too dangerous for her to stay at the manor after the breach. But it's where our security is the strongest. All our men are there. This place is going to fall like a house of cards if the enemy finds out. I'm surprised you even considered this an option. No matter how secure the manor is, it has already allowed an enemy inside. That means that the enemy can infiltrate the premises at any time. He was also formidable. You and I may be the only ones who can face him. His target is Pink. Staying in the manor will only serve to endanger others. Since we aren't there, the enemy won't be returning. So then, he'll be coming after her. Yes. Which is better for us? It sounds like Dante left the manor to protect everyone. Dante maintained his calm and continued the explanation. There's another reason why we left. If the enemy can infiltrate the manor that easily, he could have attacked as soon as she entered our custody. There must have been a reason he attacked only now. If so, going into hiding takes priority, then preparing ourselves while gathering intel. I see. I can understand that reasoning. It would be unwise to take action without information. Oh, and there's something I didn't share yet in regards to the attacker. I spoke with our men at the scene and cross-referenced their descriptions with his appearance of his appearance with my data. Nicola was smiling gently, yet I could hear that his tone of voice was more serious. The person who attacked was my informant. His name was Orlok. Our misguided rat hunt last time was because Orlok sold me bad information. It was just about then that Orlok struck. The dots seem to connect, don't they? True. Furthermore, he called himself a disciple. The average informant wouldn't know about the disciples. Then Orlok must be associated with the church. It seems I've been had. I thought I did a thorough background check on him. Nicola, you're lying. You're lying. You're... Why is he so shady? The fuck? Then again, I guess his background was too clean. There was absolutely nothing distinct about him. Can I ask a question? Who are these people that are calling themselves disciples? They are a group of people who monitor us to ensure we are properly fulfilling our role as the guardians of the relic. I need more water. Water. It's wet. They are disciples of the church. That's the wrong voice. They are disciples of the church. So they can monitor the foul. So they monitor the foul zone. I nodded and tried to absorb the information. There's something else that bothers me. It's about when we captured that Lao Shu. He looked at her and called her the Key Maiden. He's talking about that time when... The Key Maiden. I remember that very well. I don't want to, because I'm traumatized because I saw my boo torture a child. There are only a select few who actually know about the Key Maiden. Within the Falzone family, only those with Falzone blood in the upper echelons know. And even fewer know who exactly the Key Maiden is. So, the Lao Shu got their information from someone else? Precisely. We bought Orlok's intel to strike the Lao Shu, but it led us nowhere. At the same time, the disciple made his move and attacked our manor. That doesn't sound like a coincidence. Yes, and the disciple, rather, the church, is probably connected to the Lao Shu. That would connect the dots, but the church working with the Lao Shu? I couldn't and didn't want to believe that to be true. When I met the leader of the Lao Shu, Yang, he mentioned he wanted in on their blessings. He also sounded like he knew more about what was going on. He may be getting his information from the church. I heard our Orlocks say that they won't be offering the same protection they have been. Isn't that right? Yes, I recall hearing that as well. How did you hear that, Nicola? You weren't there. If so, maybe the Lao Shu intends on earning the church's protection in the Falzone's place. If they replace the Falzone, it'd be easy for them to take full control of this town. Or maybe the church simply has them working for hire. Each of us were deep in thought, unable to come up with a clear answer. We don't have enough information to act on. What we can assume is that the disciple will try to target her again. Furthermore, it's clear that the church has turned on the Falzone family. You're right, even if we don't yet know what the Lao Shu's true intentions are. It wouldn't be a stretch to assume they're planning to obtain rights to control the town. Wait, does this mean that Yang is going to be coming after the Falzone? Even if the disciple has no reason to strike our manor now, Yang still has a reason to weaken the Falzone family. And since you're here, the time is ripe for them to attack the manor again. Right. That will probably happen sooner than later. Yang won't let this opportunity slide. I guess our efforts in reducing their numbers has already started to pay off. Nicola chuckled and shrugged with irony. Dante nodded briefly, then gave his orders. Nicola, I'll let you handle our men. Get everyone ready to face the Lao Shu. Understood. What about you? My mission as the boss of the Falzone family is to protect her and the relic. Nothing supersedes that duty. There was tension in the air, but I mustered my courage to ask a simple question. If the Falzone family has been guarding the relic all this time, couldn't you speak with the church? Dante and Nicola both looked at me with surprise on their faces. I mean, why would the church suddenly turn its back on the Falzone family? Maybe there has been some kind of misunderstanding. True. This is irrational behavior from the church, especially considering that the Falzone has not strayed from its mission. Perhaps we should determine why the church has suddenly decided to betray us. Then, let's wrap this up. It seems our priority is... Nicola paused for a moment, choosing his words carefully. To gather information and to find a way to negotiate with the church. Of course, we'll need to tend with the Lao Shu as well. Dante nodded in silence. I placed my hand around my cup. It had grown cold again. Okay, I want to keep playing here, but I do need to take a break again and just get up and stretch. So I will be back in a few minutes. And okay. So many things were being revealed, and I couldn't seem to get myself settled. As my thoughts took me into the night, I felt myself shivering from the cold. It's so cold. The bitter cold made me think of the warmth I felt with Carlo around. I hope Carlo isn't lonely. Carlo? I heard him meowing from my feet. Surprised, I picked up Carlo's small body. Why are you here? I brought him here. Leo, I didn't realize you had come. I just got here, actually. I had to report to the boss. I see. Are you all right? How has your wound been healing? You worry too much. It was really just a scratch. I'm all okay now. Thank goodness. Seeing Leo's bright smile put me at ease once again. You're here. What do you have for me, Leo? Boss, as you suspected, the Lao Shu struck us at the manor this evening. Burpees. Already? We're fine. Police arrived on the scene. The Lao Shu retreated pretty quickly. The police? They came? Yes. And it's all because of the boss. Your setup with Marco was perfect. It really minimized the damage done to us. I see. That's good to hear. I could feel the tension inside me dissipate after hearing Leo's report. I expected the Lao Shu to leave when the police arrived, since they could be connected to the church. After all, I doubt the church wants to face the authorities of the Kingdom of Italy. So the Lao Shu won't attack the Falzone? Will they leave you alone now? For the time being. Their numbers have also dwindled, so I doubt they'll strike again anytime soon. But we can't move as an organization either. Yes, the damage was minimal, but we did still take a hit. That disciple hurt a lot of our members too. I suspect we'll all be at a standstill for now. I felt unsettled at the idea that we didn't know what would happen next. That's all I have to report, boss. By the way, is Nicola around? Come to think of it, I haven't seen him. Knowing him, he's probably taking action on his own. I'll send him to the manor if he comes here. Nicola will handle things there as planned. Understood. Also, per your orders, the only ones who know of this place are Nicola and myself. No one else in the family knows, so I'll be the contact person for now. Good. Be careful that you're not being tracked. Yes. I'll take my leave now. The room was quiet again with Leo's departure. The time felt like it flew by with Carlo and Nicola. Leo, I can read. It's pretty dark outside already. Say, Dante, I know it's a bit late, but how about I make dinner for us? It's fine. I'm not feeling hungry. I understand this may not be the time to relax and enjoy a meal, but you need to eat because of the current situation. Staying healthy is important. A full stomach could help lift your spirits. Then, if you could. Why, yes, I'll whip something up right away. I cooked dinner for us using the ingredients Nicola brought, then sat at the table with Dante. Forgive me, it's a bit simple. No, it's enough. I should be able to make something better tomorrow. No, don't push yourself. Our conversation wasn't faring well. I couldn't seem to come up with any good topics, given the way things were. Speaking of which, Dante set down his spoon and looked at me. I've eaten the dolce you've made me a number of times, but I believe this is the first time I've had your dinner. Oh, you're right. If only I could make dinner as good as Giulia. No, it's good. It's comforting. Oh, he likes my cooking. Dante had a gentle look on his face as he spoke to me in a soft tone. I was pleased to hear him compliment my cooking. I washed the dishes after dinner and thought it might be a good time to speak with Dante. Dante? He's not answering me. Dante? No wonder he wasn't answering me. He had fallen asleep on the sofa. Wake up, Dante. You're going to catch a cold like this. Come to think of it, I was sleeping on the sofa last night as well. Huh? But I woke up in a bed. Wait. Did Dante take me there? He took me to bed. I was embarrassed at how long it took me to realize that. I was also grateful that he had showed such kindness towards me. But I can't carry Dante to bed. Not wanting him to catch a cold, I went around the sofa to nudge his shoulder. Dante, wake up. What timing? Carlos suddenly pounced at my feet, swatting them with his tiny clawed paws. Ah! I lurched forward, extending my arms out to keep myself from falling. Yes! Sorry. I found myself looking right into Dante's face. Did I just let out a scream? Or maybe I touched him a bit? Dante's eyelashes fluttered, and his eyelids opened slowly, revealing a cold azure blue. Pink? What's the matter? It's not what you think. Hi. Hello, sir. How are you? You were asleep, so I just wanted to wake you and... I see. I didn't realize I had fallen asleep. He was looking right at me, but it seemed he wasn't fully awake yet. But soon, the haze in his eyes started to clear, and I noticed a tinge of red sweep across his cheeks as he began to stutter. What is going on here? I quickly replied. I didn't mean to. Carlo caught me off guard. So it's not like I wanted to, I wanted to do anything to you. We're both sundares. I love it. I couldn't bring myself to explain the situation with a straight face. I see. That must have been a surprise. I'm telling the truth. No, I wasn't doubting you. Okay. I was relieved he believed me. It also struck me that I had been talking to him the entire time I was so near his face. Mwah, give him a smoochy smooch. Ah. I came to my senses and moved away. I felt my hands, my body coming into contact with him when I pushed myself back. But I needed to move or else I didn't know what would have happened. Smoochy smooch, smooch, smooch. I straightened myself up and tried to continue what I was going to say. If you're going to sleep, you should go to the bedroom. You'll catch a cold here. You're right. He nodded, then stood up from the sofa. Good night, Dante. Good night. With that, Dante walked slowly on shaky knees, as if he were ready to sleep with me. I'm going to have to live with Dante here for a while, aren't I? Just thinking about what happened was making my heart race again. I shook the thought out of my head and quickly headed to my bedroom. I should go to sleep already. After all, there's no telling what may happen. I thought to myself sternly. Even so, after changing my clothes and climbing into bed, I could feel my heart race even faster. Chapter 6. Conscienza. It had been a week since we had moved into the Falzone hideout. Life here was a lot more peaceful than I expected. There wasn't anyone around to cater to us, unlike when we lived in the manor. But this place felt a lot more like home. It made me feel a bit better than before. Also, ever since we moved in, I noticed things I hadn't noticed before. Morning arrived. I stood in the kitchen, boiling some water to prepare our morning coffee. Oh, good morning, Dante. Good morning. Breakfast will be ready soon. You can have a seat at the table if you like. Dante headed to the table without a word. It didn't seem like he was in a bad mood. He just wasn't a morning person. He's a sleepy baby. He wakes up on his own, but he rarely ever spoke right out of bed. Come to think of it, I don't recall seeing Dante at breakfast with the others before. Would you like espresso? Or maybe a cup of cappuccino? Cappuccino. With plenty of sugar? He didn't answer, but it looked like he nodded. His somewhat childish behavior brought a smile to my face as I worked. This is the dynamic of a morning person and a not morning person. I know because my best friend is a morning person and I am not a morning person. So this is literally our dynamic all the time. When I stay over and hang out with her, she's like, I'm awake in the morning, blah, blah, blah. I'm gonna make you pancakes. And I'm just like, I just want coffee. Stop being so excited and happy about life. Just give me coffee. Good morning, Carlo. I'll get your milk ready right now. That's even me and my cat in the morning. My cat's like, Mommy, I want my snackies. I want my treats. I want my breakfast. And I'm just like, baby, calm down. Calm down. I just want coffee. But I give her everything she wants in the morning and make my coffee. Here you go. Oh. Setting down a plate of ricotta cheese with honey and a cup of sweet cappuccino. Dante clasped his hands together in a short prayer, then began eating. Back at the church, we made a very hearty breakfast for all the children, but breakfast was usually a lot simpler. It usually included breads like brioche or cornetto, accompanied by a cup of coffee. It seems like Dante eats more when he's served ricotta. After serving Carlo his milk, I sat at the table. Dante, would you like more honey? Please. He never verbally expressed his dislike of certain foods, but it did show. His brows might twitch, or he'd stop chewing. I started to take notice of these quirks. I think he likes this breakfast. Good. It seems like the amount of sugar in his cappuccino is just right. That was quite delicious. Thank you. You're welcome. Dante's expression looked a lot sharper now after he had his breakfast. I decided to speak with him since he seemed bored looking at his empty plate. Oh, I'll take care of it. Thank you for taking care of everything. Oh, he's so cute. Don't mention it. Back at the church, there was a lot more to clean, so this is nothing. I bet he's noticed that I've been doing all the chores because of what happened. It was the day after we arrived here. Dante offered to help with the chores, only to accidentally break the dishes. It wasn't that he was clumsy, he just wasn't accustomed to doing common chores. Rich boy. I never expected him to handle things like this anyway, especially as the family's boss. So I asked him to leave everything to me. But I suppose it made him feel like he's forcing me to do everything. He does ask if there's any way he can repay me, though. Ironic, considering that he's the one taking care of me with all that's happening. Still, I couldn't hold back a smile at the thought of him trying his best to help me out. Just when I finished cleaning up, Leo came to visit. I'm here to report to the boss. Also, I brought some food, so I'll drop it off in the kitchen. Ah, this much? It must have been heavy. Thank you, Leo. Not a problem at all. If you need anything else, feel free to let... Huh? Come on, Carlo. Don't bite my feet. That's dangerous. I could step on you. I'm so sorry, Leo. Carlo, go over there and play. Okay? Don't you get in trouble now, Carlo. Well, that's all the food for today. Thank you very much, Leo. Leo coughed a bit to clear his throat, then went to see Dante. I'm sorry to keep you waiting, boss. I'd like to report that the Lao Shu and the church are making their move. There haven't been any developments on that yet. Nicola is currently trying to get in contact with the church. But it isn't going well, so he mentioned that he may need to go to Rome to see them. My shoulders fell a bit, hearing that such things weren't going well with the church. I'll think of a backup plan. Here, these are my orders for today. I'll make sure this gets relayed. I'll report back if anything of interest happens. I'm sorry for bothering you so often. I'll take my leave now, boss. Oh, Leo, my little baby, my little guy, my little man. Leo bowed his head to Dante, then looked towards me and Carlo with a smile. I'll bring more good things to eat next time I'm here. See you again too, Carlo. Thank you, Leo, and be careful. Leo took off after playing a bit with Carlo on his way to the door. I heard a rustling behind me and turned to see Dante going through the newspaper Leo brought. Read anything interesting? A discussion is being held in Locarno, Switzerland. A discussion? About what? To put it simply, several European countries are in talks to bring peace to the region. If the treaty is signed, the conflict in Germany should dissolve in a peaceful fashion. That's wonderful. Yes, and it also means there will be more stability amongst the countries involved. That should help alleviate some of the tension that could otherwise lead to warfare. I do hope they all come in to an agreement. 1925, y'all. 1925. The Falzone must have trade relations with other countries, which would explain why Dante was so keen about world affairs and the economy. I went to the kitchen to brew fresh coffee so that Dante could enjoy his paper. After serving lunch, I had some spare time. With nothing else to do, I decided to tidy up the place. Not that it was dirty, but there were a few spots here and there that were bothering me. I cleaned the kitchen already, so today I'll clean the living room. I'm sorry, Pink. Huh? It looks like I'm burdening you with all the housework. Oh, don't worry about it. Like I said, it was far more work at the church. Cleaning up after two people is nothing. Not only that, I feel a lot better being able to do something rather than just sitting around like before. I see. Well, you seem adept at what you do. May I ask how life was back at the church? What are you doing, baby? Are you playing with the strings? Okay, you can't see it, but my cat has a bed at the foot, or my cat has a bed in my office here, and she's still getting used to the finer things in life because I've only had her a few years. So she does like her bed. She really likes it, but she won't sleep in it unless it has one of my sweaters in it, or like one of my blankets in it, or something that smells like me in it. So I put a sweater in it for her so that she has something that smells like me in it. And sometimes the strings, I try and tuck them under so that, they don't bother her while she's sleeping. But sometimes the strings come loose from her just moving around. And then she finds them and she plays with them. And that's what she's doing right now. She's just biting at the strings and playing with it while sitting in her bed. She's just being real cute. Yeah, so she's 13 years old, and I got her back at the end of or start of 2021. So she's getting used to her fancy bed and just playing around, being cute. Why is my model always got a break when I look over to my child? Hold on, let me fix this. There we go. All right, fixed her up. I see. Well, you seem to be adept at what you do. May I ask how your life was back at the church? Oh, hi. I'm going to have some Wawa? No, you're going to come say hi? Hi. I had my older sisters, some friends close to my age, and a lot of small children. I chuckled as I recalled how loud and busy the church was. It was very noisy, day in and day out. Cleaning was quite a challenge, and the only time things were quiet was when everyone was either sleeping, eating, or sleeping. I can read. A challenge. I couldn't imagine. Did you have a hard time with it? Why, yes. The children were always playing outdoors, so it was always a battle to keep things clean. Do you mind if I ask how you were back when you were a child? I don't recall much, though I don't think I lived like other children. Well, I do recall sneaking into the kitchen with Nicola to grab a bite to eat. So you did have a naughty side. He still does. Of course. Julia certainly scolded us, which explains why I can't seem to argue with her now. I wouldn't have expected that, considering your position. I suppose I've matured since then. Still, Nicholas seems to be able to read me like a book, even today. Perhaps it's mutual. After being together for so long, we just know each other by heart. I felt a warmth inside, simply looking at Dante with that gentle smile on his face. It sounds like you were raised together like siblings. It feels a bit strange having Dante talk to me about himself. I learned more about who Dante was, and best of all, we were able to speak with a smile. Patience. Lao Yang. Say Yang, can't I make a move yet? How come you're not letting me do anything? Again, like I said before, now is not the time. There's no need to rush things. I'm not rushing or anything. But there's no way I can stay still after getting that sent to us. That's your problem, not mine. Faye's stupid move cost him his life. Well, yes, but it feels weird not being... It feels weird to not be doing anything. What? It's no fun without Faye around. I want to give the Falzone a taste of their own medicine. Shut up. Okay, fine. But how long are we gonna wait? Who knows? I don't plan on waiting forever if they won't make their move. I guess I should make mine instead. What the fuck? I learned more about who Dante was, and the best of all, we were able to speak with a smile. I could have a conversation with him now without worrying, unlike back at the manor. I was happy that things had changed for the better, even just a little. Hello? There. That smells good. Is that for dinner? What are you doing, sir? You're being so fucking shady. I just finished preparing marlin a la brace. Would you like to join us? What the fuck is that? Refers to foods roasted over coals. And marlin's a fish, so a fish roasted over coals. Okay. I'm sure you came to see Dante, but if you don't mind waiting until after dinner... You're right. That sounds like a fine idea. I brought a bottle of wine today. You haven't had good wine since you came here, have you? Why, thank you, Nicola. Why are you trying to get me drunk? His kindness brought a smile to my face. I should get the wine glasses ready then. Dinner was set out on the table, with the wine from Nicola poured into our glasses. I said a prayer for the meal as usual. Very pious of you, but this isn't church, you know. No one's watching you. I wasn't praying to be watched. Nicola. Nicola shrugged, hearing Dante's reprimanding tone. I've been having my meals with Dante since we arrived here. It was normal for us to pray before our meals, so I never thought of it that way. I wonder if Nicola's views on prayers was a common one. I thought about it for a moment. Maybe being raised at the church made me think that everyone prayed before meals. As for Dante, he visited the church every week. I suppose he'd be considered pious as well. I felt a bit closer to Dante now. The salad was tossed with oranges, a fresh pepper, and olive oil dressing. Though it took a while, the herb roasted arista was well worth the effort. I can read, you guys. Oh my god. The main course was a marlin al brace, served with a salsa tonata. Sure. Delicious. Yeah, delicious indeed. Why are you so creepy to me in this route? Thank you. Go ahead and drink up. Why? Nicola grinned and beckoned me to drink by pouring more wine into my glass. I can only imagine how boring it is here. You deserve to have a bit more to drink. Of course, not to the extent that you're completely drunk. Why are you being so weird? Oh my god. Well, if you say so. It had been some time since I had wine, and even longer since I had a meal with Nicola. Considering the circumstances, it felt good to share a dinner with them like this. Nicola, don't force her to drink. Don't worry, Dante. I'm fine, really. You're quite the drinker. Well, we do have wine during festivities, even at the church. We blessed the wine at the church and also included it in our celebrations. Having an enjoyable conversation over a nice warm meal, what a nice way to pass the time. Stop saying nice. I'm in chapter 6 of this game. I know something bad is going to happen. What you doing, kitty boo boo? After we finished our dolce, Nicola began his report to Dante. The church is unresponsive, and the Lao Shu haven't made another move yet. What's odd is the Visconti have been quiet as well. I can see why the Visconti are staying quiet. We're at a standstill now. I'm sure they want to see what happens between us and the Lao Shu. But Dante, let's assume something happens to us and the Laoshu gain control of our territory. Do you think the Visconti would want that to happen? I could see where Nicola was going with this. If the Falzone family falls, would the Laoshu go after the Visconti next? Yes, and I doubt that Yang has reason to back out of what he's started. Then that would mean the Visconti would want to side with us, wouldn't it? Huh? We could, say, work to get rid of the Laoshu, then split the rights to Berlone. Sure, we'd lose money, but we'd also mitigate the damage to us. I'm sure they'd bite. Gilbert is business savvy. I can see him wanting to choose the path that leads to the greatest benefit. But if the church is supporting the Laoshu, that makes things different. True, the church does have a lot of power and extraterritorial rights to Berlone. A simple question came to mind. Why would the church side with an organization from another country? Maybe they're being blackmailed by Yang? You said the answer yourself. It's because Yang is from another country. Okay. Huh? Sir? What do you mean, Nicola? The church won't ask their own people to partake in dirty deeds. But the Laoshu don't care about our god, and they move with money, quite useful in fact. Nicola, are you implying that the church is involved in all the wrongdoings? They're supporting it at the very least. Not everyone in the church is a saint. I'm not at all surprised that some of them would take questionable approaches to maintain their power. Nicola, you shouldn't say such things. Well, the church is using the Falzone family to do their bidding. Nicola! I mean, yeah, but come on. Look at the disciple they sent. He walked out of the gunfire safe and sound. That isn't something any normal person could do. Right. The name disciple is deceiving. In reality, they're well-trained assassins. He was right. The physical prowess of the young man who attacked the manor was beyond normal. The church doesn't want to let the people know that their hands are in the cookie jar. Given that, it's clear why they'd work with the Laoshu. I guess that makes sense. Even though I don't want to believe it. The reasoning is sound, but I want to make sure our assumptions are true before we make a move. You're right. It's a bit early to condemn the church as our enemy. After all, it's not like everyone there is united in working towards the same goal. In any case, I'll try and get as much intel as I can. I'll try and get as much intel as to what's going on with the church. I'll also check on the Visconti as well. With how things are now, we'll need to use every resource we can to our advantage. Dante thought for a moment, then nodded in agreement.
Right. I can't take action myself, so I'll need to leave the negotiations to you. Who knew your connections to the Visconti would help us like this one day? Yep. Leave all the details to me. Now then. Nicola quickly stood up and reached for his hat. There's no time to waste. I'd better get moving. I'm counting on you. Please be careful, Nicola. And with that, Nicola took his leave. Silence fell upon the room again, with only me and Dante left. About our conversation. I'm sorry you had to hear that. I'm sure it wasn't a pleasant thing to discuss. About the church's involvement, that is.
Oh, baby, it's okay. I responded to Dante. To be honest, that was quite shocking. It was hard for me to accept what was being said because of my faith in the church. Is there something I can do to help? Dante had a worried look on his face. I'm sorry if I'm worrying you, Dante. I need to learn to accept what's in front of me, that's all. I tried to respond positively. I see. But don't push yourself. Thank you, Dante. Dante's kind words made me feel a bit better than before. We love a supportive man. Dante stared at me. What's the matter? No. Nothing. Aren't you tired? You should take a rest. Are you going to be washing the dishes? Yes. I might get in your way, so the least I can do is wait for you to finish. Dante. Then I better finish up quickly. I smiled at Dante, then cleared the table and headed to the kitchen. A few days passed since Nicola's last visit. Waiting so idly like this made the time go by so slowly. Damn it. Dante gave a deep sigh as he looked through the stack of documents. Sharing 3? Nicola Francesca. Nice to see you, Nicola. Let's get right to business. Check it out. He nodded towards a large envelope on the table. Thank you, Gilbert. Do you mind? I see. Could I borrow this? For you? Sure. Go right ahead. Do what you need with it. Much appreciated. I'll make this worth your while. Dante gave a deep sigh as he looked through the stack of documents. I could tell that things weren't going well at all. It almost feels like the things are getting worse by the day. Even more idle days passed. One day, Nicola and Leo came over to report.
We have news. It looks like the Lao Shu and the church are connected after all. Here's a record of the money moving between them. Dante looked over the document, then sighed. This does it. Solid proof that the Lao Shu and the church won't be able to deny. After asking around, it seems like the Visconti also suspected their connection. I think I can get our plan into action now. I'm sure things will change for the better. Thank goodness. I let out a sigh of relief, hearing the good news. I didn't expect to rely on our rivals like this. Dante didn't look all that happy, but he seemed to accept the situation. But it's better than having no options. It looked like he was accustomed to putting the family first ahead of his feelings. Oh, baby. Good work, Nicola. You're welcome. Well, that's about all I have to report for today. Understood. Leo, I have a favor to ask. I'll do whatever you want, boss. Dante stood up and went into a separate room. Leo nodded and immediately followed. With the two of them gone, Nicola began speaking with me. It must be tough, being stuck here with Dante all by herself. That's not true. Dante has been very kind and considerate. Good to hear that he at least knows how to treat our dear key maiden. Why are you obsessed over that, sir? If you weren't the key maiden, then you wouldn't be involved in all of this. I'm sorry we had to drag you into our mess. Don't worry, I'm fine. Despite my answer, something didn't feel quite right inside. Sorry for keeping you waiting, Nicola. Are you done? We should head back. Hi. Yes, and I'll come back with more stuff. Thank you, Leo. Please take care, Nicola. The two of them left our hideout, and I pondered over what Nicola said. Dante is treating me like this because I'm the key maiden? After living here with Dante, I thought I had been able to connect with him. Or maybe it was just my imagination. Living with him has blurred the line between our separate worlds. His way of life is completely different. I told myself over and over again to never forget this harsh truth. A day passed since Leo and Nicola visited. I had been thinking about the same thing over and over again the whole night. It's only because I'm the key maiden. Sorry, but could you get me a cafe latte? Pink? Huh? Oh, a cafe latte? Sure, just a moment. I could tell Dante was looking at me oddly, so I quickly left the room. Whew. I sighed and put the kettle on. I must have acted strange back there. I'm certain Dante took notice. I couldn't seem to behave around Dante like before. I felt uneasy being in the same room with him now. I couldn't bring myself to smile. More days passed. The thoughts in my mind consumed me, even as we ate our lunch. I sat there, twirling pasta endlessly around my fork. I sat there, twirling the pasta around my fork endlessly. I can read, not just interpret the sentences. Let's talk for a moment. Dante's voice drew my drifting mind back to the table. About what? What did I do wrong? No. You did nothing at all. Then why are you avoiding me? I'm not avoiding you. Oh. Then do you recall what you've been doing over the past few days? Good morning. Bright and early, are you? Yes. Breakfast is ready, so you can eat ahead of me. I need to get Carlo's milk ready. I'd like to speak with you if you're free. I'm sorry, but I really need to clean up the place. Clean? But you've been cleaning the whole day. Huh? Oh, you're right. I meant I need to get ready for dinner. Look at the time. Huh? Pink, do you have... Carlo, let's go to sleep, shall we? Good night, Dante. Ugh. We're not subtle. Well, I suppose that was obvious. And it's only because I can't seem to act the same way as before. No wonder Dante thought I was avoiding him. I'm sorry, Dante. I gave a great sigh. I wasn't looking for an apology. I just want to know what happened. Well, why was I acting like this? I wish I knew myself. Dante began to speak again, seeing that I wasn't answering his question. Is it something you can't tell me? No, that's not it. Is it something you can say to Nicola? No! Nicola? Why would you say that? It has nothing to do with him. Then how about Leo? I know I can talk to Leo, but I'm sure he'd tell Dante. So you can talk to Leo, but not me. That's not true, but it's hard to explain. You're not at fault at all, though. It's just something I need to handle myself. Dante frowned at my response. He looked like he was pouting. He is pouting. My pouty boy. Sure, my attitude towards him hasn't been normal, but I only said I couldn't talk to him. I don't see why he'd pout about it. 'Cause he loves you. We continued our meal together quietly without speaking. This tastes good. Dante complimented me unexpectedly. Oh, thank you. The cream works well with the pasta, and it's not as heavy as it seems, and Dante seemed to remember something suddenly and went quiet again. I washed up the dishes after dinner. It felt really awkward not to be able to share my feelings. It probably wasn't just Dante's demeanor that was frustrating me. It may also have come from the subtle stresses of our current situation. I returned to the living room when, oh, I had been going through the motions when I realized I was carrying a cup of cafe latte for Dante in my hands. I didn't want to waste a good cup, so I awkwardly placed it in front of Dante. Here. Ugh. Dante accepted it with a nonchalant attitude and without looking at me. These are two awkward tsunderes who just don't know how to interact with each other sometimes, and I love them. I love that for them. Are you laughing? I'm not. You must be imagining things. No, you were. Is there something wrong? Did I not add enough sugar? No, it's just right. It's the perfect cup for me. I see. We were still conversing with each other in an awkward way, but I felt a bit ticklish inside as I watched Dante take a sip of the cafe latte. Leo came again today. As usual, I went through what he bought when... Oh, and this is what the boss was asking for. Leo handed me a white envelope. This goes to Dante? Oh, no. It's for you. Well, I need to run. Now, if you'll excuse me. Leo nodded, then quickly ran off. Dante? This is for me? Yes, it's a letter for you. Unsure of what it was for, I sat down on the sofa to read what it said. It was addressed to me, all right. This handwriting, could it be? I hurriedly opened the envelope to read the letter inside. Sister Sophia! The letter was asking me how I was doing. I could tell that she was praying for me just by reading the letter. It went on to explain how everyone was doing. Reading it brought a sharp pain to my heart. I wish I was back at the church with everyone. The wish to go home that I had been suppressing flowed out in tears. Oh. Dante was about to say something to me, but quickly closed his mouth. He then sat next to me and gently cradled my trembling hand in his. He kept quiet as we sat together. He didn't speak a single word, but the silence was welcome. I felt the consoling warmth of his hand slowly making its way to my heart. I'm fine now. Thank you. I mumbled my thanks to Dante as I slowly regained my calm. No need to thank me. I sincerely appreciated Dante's kindness, even if his kindness is only because I'm the key maiden. Stop thinking like that, baby girl. Nicola's in your head, and we're gonna kill him for that. Also, because it will be fun. It doesn't make it a lie. Really, he's been kind to me all this time. Thinking about all he had done for me warmed my heart. Dante, thank you for saving me. Thank you for keeping me under your protection. Where did that come from? I just wanted to thank you, to show you my appreciation. And I'm sorry I've been avoiding you. I can't explain myself properly right now. Once I get my thoughts straight, I'll talk to you about it then. Understood. I'll wait until you're ready to talk to me. Good boy. That's good. We like that. All I ask is that you don't avoid me. It's quite painful. I now nodded with a smile on my face. Yes, I understand. A new sense of resolve came over me. I needed to behave as I did with him before, especially after hearing his kind words. The air around us suddenly felt light again. Dante mumbled. At first, I thought it was a coincidence that you were involved in that incident with the Lao Shu. I later discovered they were targeting you specifically and working for the church. Regardless, I'm glad I was there to help and secure you under our custody. Dante only came for me because I'm the key maiden. I felt a bit saddened hearing from Dante that my value to them was only tied to the name. I lowered my head slightly, feeling a familiar sadness when Dante suddenly mumbled, I'm glad you're the key maiden. Huh? I was curious what he meant by that, but Dante turned his face away before I could ask. I felt my heart racing again. I should change the subject. Dante? How is your family doing? Have there been any problems still? I've been avoiding Dante for a while now, so I haven't heard much from Leo's reports. I suppose I should let you know. But first, a matter of confirmation. Do you understand our current standings? If not, I can explain it again. I don't think his feelings would change whether I ask him to explain it again or not. I honestly respond, no need to explain it again. I think I understand the situation well enough, but thank you for asking, Dante. Good. Then let me get right to the point in regards to what we have to do. Our current mission is to stymie the Lao Shu's remaining influence in the area. I'm currently working with Berlin politicians and the police force to shake them down. If they can stay on the Lao Shu, we should be able to weaken them even further. So, you're pulling strings. Yes. Do you think that's underhanded? I can't blame you. After all, I'm trying to take care of things without dirtying my own hands. Dante didn't seem very proud of it. In any case, things are going well. We should be seeing results from the shakedown soon. As for the Visconti, nothing has changed with them since the last time I spoke to you. As for Nicola, I can only pray that he's keeping up with his duties. I keep forgetting that Dante is the Falzone family boss. The thought of Dante being a boss reminded me of the thought I had been suppressing. He was only treating me kindly because he was the Falzone boss and I'm the key maiden. But that's okay. Done deal. What's going on? Very well. We have a deal. Grazie, Gilbert. I extended my arm out to shake his hand. We both broke into a smile. No need to thank me. A deal's a deal. That's good to hear. What is going on? But that's okay. All right. Mystery, intrigue, complications. We're going to save there and we're going to call it a night because my kitty cat looks like she wants some love and attention. Oh, yeah. She's rubbing against my leg. So I need to go pay her some love and attention tonight. Also, I stream. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll see you next time. Goodbye, YouTube.